If people actually connected with each other and started helping each other and realised how connected they are to each other, standing up against the government and against the whole machine and realising that it's completely fictional would happen just by matter of course. I mean, how would it not happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, how do you see it playing out? Because do you believe? I mean, I'd like to think that my local police officer, my my local kind of soldiers, if it came down to such a serious thing as martial law, that they would actually, say I'm not having any part of this. Do you see it going that far or not?
I think it'll go to a point where people will stand up, but then they will need to make the choice whether they're going to stand up in peaceful love and unity or whether they're going to stand up in violent action. Because if they stand up in violent action, it's going to bring the whole thing down. It can only be done peacefully. If you look at history, I mean, we might, if the whole country decides to go into violent action, sure, we can overrun anybody because we have the strength of numbers. But all we'll do is impose another dictatorship. We'll impose a new form of tyranny. There'll be chaos for a while. A lot of people will die. All the services will stop. There'll be a lot of damage. But if we stand up in peaceful unity and say, no, we're not going to do it anymore, we can keep the services functioning, keep all the basic services so there's still food, there's all this stuff going on, but we're actually going to do it properly now. We're going to do it honestly. We're not going to do it your way anymore. We're not going to have an interest-based monetary system. We've decided that that's what we're going to do because we are the people and we are the nation. That's the way it needs to be done. And there's going to be a lot of agents provocateurs in there. They're going to be waving pitchforks and saying, let's hang them, and creating violence. And this is not the way to do it, and it will solve nothing. It will simply play right into their hands, and then probably the elite themselves will come along as the knights on the white chargers, and they'll put together this system. We've got to put in this martial law and police for now just to protect you all because it's been such a violent revolution, but we're the good guys, and before you know it, you'll be locked straight down into a police state. It's pretty, I mean, they would have planned for any such contingency, and violence will play straight into their hands. Peaceful non-compliance, global unity, understanding that we are literally each other. All the social division, it's illusionary. And anybody who is inciting violence is not working in your best interests. Sure, we all get angry. We get angry. Sure we do. But it's a misconception of reality. To want to go and attack that person, even if that person has done the wrong thing, maybe they're a really evil person, that they're trapped in bad energy or whatever, well, they need healing. They don't need hurting. But if they're just an official, a police officer who actually believes that he has to follow the rules in this little book and that he's bound by the constraints of the law, well, he's brainwashed, the poor fellow. He really is. You can't blame him for being that way. That's simply what he's been trained to be. He's a product of his environment. He's that way because he's disconnected and he has a completely misconceived version of reality. So you can't blame him for it. But we have to do this. We have to unite as a species and do this. We can't sit here and wait for UFO disclosure and all this stuff that people say, oh, you're going to have all this disclosure and all this new technology is going to become available. Just sit there and do nothing. It's all good. Just do nothing. Just wait. Just wait. You're going to be saved. No. It's all in here. All we have to do is change our energetic state within, realize that we are connected to each other, operate always out of love, operate within the one law, connect with each other and stand up and say no. It's really that simple. It's so simple it just beggars belief. But we could literally change the world in 3 seconds, Anthony.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what sort of clouds the issue of coming together is, in terms of some of their propaganda and nuances, is how they can manufacture dissent and they can compartmentalise dissent. So you've got the trade unionists who are striking separate to the students, but in reality, if everyone just sort of stood around and looked at each other at this moment in time, how every single family, person, child, and also your offspring in the future is literally being taken the mick out of, and it's about coming together, all classes, creeds, and at a local level, like you've already talked about.
Well, also, I mean, absolutely, all of these things that you're talking to, these are all symptoms. People out there, defending whatever group, the union group, the whales, the starvingness, the children, the whatever. These are all symptoms of the one problem. There's only one problem, and that is the corruption that exists at the very top of our societies that allows the perpetuation of all of these symptoms. And until all of these people realize this, and they all unite, and they turn and face the true shadow that allows the perpetuation of these symptoms, the shadow where no one is allowed to go, oh, you can't address that issue, or you can't go there. Well, yes, you can. Yes, we can, because we are the people. This whole system is designed to act in the best interest of the people. It's the system that we've designed through our own subconscious, this meme, this energetic life force that controls our reality exists because we give it our power. Well, we want to know why. We want to know what's going on. We want to address that meme itself, because the system that is being put in place to safeguard the interests of humanity is an extremely inhuman system. It's being used to create starvation, depopulation, wars. Every single problem that we see on the planet is a direct result of this system. We're not going to give it our energy anymore. It doesn't work. Look at the state of the world. There you go, Exhibit A, the Earth. Look at it. Look at the state of this place. Look at the starvation. Look at the homelessness. There is no reason for there to be one single person on this planet in a state of shortage or in a state of hardship. And the reason they are is because of this system. This system is promoted by our politicians, and we need to address that issue. We absolutely need to address that issue. And any politician who hasn't addressed this issue, is not prepared to address this issue, and has not yet spoken up against the corrupt interest-based monetary system that currently enslaves this planet to a system of perpetual debt, is either a corrupt criminal who works for an international banking cartel, or he or she is too stupid to hold the position that they currently hold, and they need to be dismissed from office immediately. And that's my yardstick by which I measure these people.
Yes, I think that the corporate issue, and when you work for a corporation, then you do have to sort of submit and make a compromise of your true self, because it is the party line. And that's where a lot of our most successful sociopaths have risen through the ranks, because they can lie and they will do as they're told. And they're the people that, influence our society and make it look and feel the way it is.
Well, that's what our society is designed to create, is sociopaths. That's what our education system is designed to create. It's designed to create sociopaths, the whole system. And the more sociopathic you are, then the higher you can climb in the system. Absolutely. It's designed that way. But as you say, they're bound by the rules of their corporation. Well, yeah, they are to a certain degree, but only because they're locked in left brain and they're sociopaths. You know, to me, they're just squiggly lines on pieces of paper. They don't mean anything. I'm actually bound to my conscience, and that's the way I operate. But it's very hard for a sociopath to operate in that way. But when you think about it, even wanting to be a politician, you've got to be a little bit sociopathic to even want the position. I mean, why would you want to be in a position where you are in control of others? What sort of a mentality would you have to even desire that position? So these corporate heads and all these people who struggle to get to the top of these corporations, they're all sociopaths. Of course they are. Why else would they want to be there? I prefer to be sitting down by the forest playing guitar and eating some nice food than sitting in an office. I mean, what's wrong with these people? I prefer to be down the beach, surfing.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, but it's funny how perhaps the most inspirational and the most powerful people, truly, on an energetic level, are the ones who don't seek power at all.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you never give power to someone who actually wants the position. You know, anybody who wants to be Prime Minister really is not of the type of character that you would want to have as Prime Minister. Anybody who wants to rule would make a bad ruler. I couldn't stand being a ruler. I would definitely not want the gig.
Yeah, man, it gives you a serious headache.
Well, I love people too much. I want to live in a world where everybody's free. I don't want to control others. I would like to see the human consciousness and the earth and this whole reality rise to its potential. And it has so much potential and so much possibility. And this whole governmental sociopathic system is designed to remove that potential from humanity, to keep the free human spirit locked into this little box and bound by these little rules, and never ever to be allowed to step outside of the box. And that's just not something that I want to be involved in.
Mm. So for those people who are thinking again at the side of the brain that you've been talking about and aren't fully woken up yet, they'll be thinking maybe, what will this system look like politically? You know, some people maybe brand the term anarchy, and I know that's a term that has a completely different understanding and perspective to different people. So how could you maybe construct this in words for us, you know, as a first step maybe?
Well, all anarchy is a lack of government, and all anarchy is self-governance. If you're living
Mm,
in a system of common law, where you have basic common law, you don't kill, you don't steal, you don't hurt, you don't maim. It's pretty basic, you know.
mm,
If you do these things, then you get ostracized by the community. People soon know this guy's a thief, this guy's a murderer, this guy can't be trusted, and you can't go anywhere. You lose all social standing because you've done the wrong thing. That's just the way it works. So
mm,
it's kind of like instant karma in that. But I mean, that's all you need. We could have a group of elders. We could have, we need some form of government in as much as we need people to organise that we have an education system, which would be nice if it was one that actually educated rather than indoctrinated. But we need these people there. So look, we've got roads, we've got water, we've got, we make sure the basic services are all functioning. That's all we really need government for. And we need some group of elders to sit over breaches of common law to
mm,
decide what should be done if someone breaks common law. And that's all we need. That's all we need, really.
mm,
And all the things that we need from our government, or basic infrastructure, a good education system, make sure the trains run on time and all this sort of stuff. These are all things that the government seem to be grossly inept at providing for us, and yet they're fascinated with providing more and more rules and regulations to make us more subservient to them. That's all they do. And that's not what we elect them to do. We elect them to provide what we need to function as a progressive human society. And they don't do any of that. That should be a little bit of a sign for people. Should be a few alarm bells going off there. Okay?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we need. So, sure, we need government, but a government should be the administrative arm of the people, not a group of rulers. How do we elect these people? They go to power, they swear to serve the country and serve the people, and then they rule us. It's ridiculous. They masquerade as the servant so they can become the ruler. That's the way they do it. And really, we've got to realise that they are servants. We are the nation. We need these people to provide for us our basic needs, a group of elders to provide over any breaches of common law. The community itself will enforce common law, because if someone does the
mm,
wrong thing by you, you know your neighbours, you're all connected with your neighbours, you're all growing community gardens together, everything's perfect, you're all getting along fine. This guy does something wrong, then the whole community's going to say, hey, you did the wrong thing. We're going to take you up to see the elders. They're going to decide what's to be done with you. It's pretty simple, man. That's all we need. That's how to run a world. That's how to run a society. And we can still have all our technology. We can still have all of this stuff. People are still going to invent iPods and things because people like
mm,
to invent things. That's what they do,
mm,
and other people like to make these things. It's like, they say, who would work on the machinery? I'd say, well, if we didn't all have to have jobs and things, who would keep the place running? Well, there's plenty of guys that would like to work on the machinery. Guys work on their cars on the weekend, because they
mm.
like working on their cars. That's what they do. I mean, there's people that like doing this stuff, and so it'll always get done. As far as growing food and stuff, we could have community gardens. We could all have part of our education system knowing how to grow food. It'll be ingrained into us by the time we leave school. It'll just be something that we do, part of life that has to be done. We've got to, have self-responsibility, grow some food, help the community. It'll be, we could do it. We could do a lot better
Mm.
than what we've got in place now. I think all we'd have to do would be connect with each other and think about it a little bit.
Yeah, I think when you talk about leadership in communities coming from elders, when you flip that over and you look at the current system where you've got people who have gone through a compartmentalized education system to learn what leadership is and political science, and it's all about intellectual understanding, when in reality what you need people who have experienced life, have become wise, and who can pass that knowledge on with love, instead of it being some sort of professional academic kind of pursuit.
Absolutely, and these elders should be appointed by the people, and anybody who wants the gig is not acceptable.